There has been a complaint into me, but I can assure you that having received this complaint and conducted a thorough investigation, that we have found that there is nothing wrong. How good is that? There is a major league scandal unfolding of cover-ups and bureaucratic balderdash in the Department of Veterans Affairs. And our correspondent, an ex-Army officer, Stuart McCarthy, is spearheading this coverage. Now, we may even get, who knows, to US drug companies using Australian soldiers in pharma experiments which lead to veteran suicides. We may get there at some point. Who knows? In the meantime, it all sounds very Robert Ludlum, very Jason Bourne, doesn't it? The truth is always stranger than fiction. But let's see where we're up to on this DVA, or Department of Veterans Affairs investigation. We broke the story today of the DVA official, the bureaucrat, dismissing a misconduct complaint against herself on behalf of the minister. Yes, she marked her own homework and gave it an A+. Who needs ministers when you can DIY it? Who needs to deliver their homework to the teacher when the student can mark it themselves? Here it is. We refer you to the story. Please read it, because this is only going to get bigger. It needs to be fixed. Like much of the bureaucracy and the government, to quote Stuart, a Senate estimates hearing has revealed that the National Manager of the Department of Veterans Affairs Open Arms Veterans and Family Counselling Service dismissed a misconduct complaint against herself on behalf of the minister. While in a previous senior DVA role, this manager was overseeing a $2.1 million comprehensive health assessments contract to the healthcare provider Bupa. Now, this Bupa angle is interesting because the contract has been referred to the NACC, the National Anti-Corruption Commission, or, as we like to call it, the SNAC, the Secret National Anti-Corruption Commission, which hasn't got off exactly to a flying start because we, as Stuart says, we may have to rename it the Actual Corruption Commission, because they are investigating themselves already about their failure to investigate the robo-debt debacle. The Department of Veterans Affairs also needs investigating because, as our coverage shows, there is a toxic culture. As anybody who's been involved in a toxic culture knows, they are toxic. They are a lesson in life. Why is DVA toxic? Not because of good people or bad people. It's systemic, because they have had their heads in the sand about the poor treatment of Australia's veterans, its soldiers who have fought for this country. And they've spent a lot of money, a lot of our public money, not doing very much. In fact, they forked out, Stuart points out, $73 million to PwC, none other than PwC, good old PwC, to actually avoid a Royal Commission, to stave off a Royal Commission, as you can see here. Now, how does one go about avoiding a Royal Commission? Well, it's hard work. $73 million worth. You do a lot of PR, a bit of window dressing, some big announcements, ScoMo-esque stuff like co-designing and re-engineering and improving culture. They even introduced yoga. Nothing wrong with yoga. This is not an investigation into yoga. Yoga is very good. Also, bringing in people to focus on things like process and create delays. Just stuff which avoids getting to the heart of the matter. Fixing the legislation so that soldiers can say, this is when I served and this is what has happened to me. What are my entitlements? How can I be easily assessed for claims and compensation? It's a bit like the whistleblower legislation where they promised they'd fix it, never did, and now whistleblowers are going to jail. In the DVA, the narrative was, we don't need to fix the legislation because, hey, we've spent $1 billion on fixing processes and IT and things like apps, even yoga. Focus on the downward dog, get in the Shavasana position in order to streamline the processes. And Dan Andrews, the former Premier of Victoria, put it best when he testified about the DVA and said it was like a bad insurance policy. The idea was that they make it so complicated and so difficult that you would just give up and forget about making your claim. A bit like trying to get your ticket reimbursed by Jetstar or Qantas or Virgin for that matter. So stay tuned for this story as it unfolds, and we'll get back to you as we see the majestic coverage in the mainstream media as they reiterate government talking points and fail to get to the nub of the story. Thank you for your support. Please like, share and comment in the section below.